Question 1083. Where did your family go on holiday when you were a child?
So it's just where, like, it's not like the best place, it's just where.
Just where? Did you not have a regular place?
No, we went lots of different places.
Yeah. I can give you one of my favorite memories of a place that we went to, like, getting there. So, there's this place called Grand Rapids or Fort Rapids or something like that in Ohio. It's a hotel that has this huge ass water park, right? And it's in I think it's in Cincinnati, Ohio. I'm not really sure on it. But I remember we were driving, it was my grandmother, my mom, my sister, and I. We were all driving down there, and I look out to my right just to look at the window because I'm one of those people that like to watch nature and shit. And we were in the city, and there was this dude hugging a fucking trash can, screaming at it. And I remember what he was saying. He was like, "Babe, I love you, but you need to clean up your act. You stink. You're a whore." And I'm laughing my ass off because this person is hugging a fucking trash can, screaming at it, and the dude sitting on the bus bench next to him was just like, "What the fuck is going on?" And I rolled down my window, and I scream out the window. I'm like, "Yeah, man, you give that trash can what for?" And then I rolled it up. I'm like, "Grandma, we need to go. We need to go now."
Nerdy says Pumptins. Rainbug says South Carolina was the only place we went often. Seraph says somewhere in Alabama. Is there anywhere nice in Alabama? I have very limited memory and knowledge of Alabama.
Dinosaur Adventureland.
Dinosaur Adventure. Everyone must go there. David Worley says I went to Austria for skiing. That
David's here?
Quite posh, yes.
Hi, David.
Lucky bastard.
Yes, I was thinking that. Never Again says camping in national forests or Pensacola Beach in Florida, mostly camping. Dad devoted his entire vacation to it. Gary Priestley says 3,300 kilometers drive across the country to visit relatives every few years. Never Again says new destinations every year. Wes says usually Colorado, also New York, California, Niagara Falls, Galveston, Texas. What the fuck is Galveston? Only been
if you guys,
it's right on the Gulf.
Yeah.
Is it?
If you guys, for all my American friends, if you ever want to go to a beach that doesn't smell like sadness or is in Florida, there's this place in North Carolina called the it's called the Outer Banks, and I went there once when I was with my adopted family, but the last time I went, me and my friends saved up like $5,000 a piece for like a year, and we went out to the Outer Banks, and I shit you not, it's one of the most beautiful places in my opinion in America. There's like wild horses that live on the beach. There's parts of the beach where like no one else goes because you can rent a house there, and it's private property. And
so you're not meant to be there.
Oh no! Like we were renting a house there, so we were allowed to be there. But like there wasn't like a bunch of naked people walking around and things that you didn't want to see, because trust me, there are a bunch of those that happen there, unfortunately. But no, it's a great place. I recommend it. Just don't go to Florida. Anywhere but Florida, and you're fine.
I was going to say, I've been to Florida, and I actually wholeheartedly agree with that.
Spooky says, we only went on a yearly day trip. 1 year Blackpool, next year Rill. We got a £1 bag of crisps and a bottle of pop. Here's the thing, I spent an awful lot of time in Rill. If I had to pick an answer to this question, I would just go North Wales.
So I do have a question.
I've been to Rill before. It was actually, when I went, one time I remember it being quite a thriving town. By all accounts, it's absolutely dead now.
It depends when you go.
I do have a question.
I've been recently.
For all those that live in England, has anyone taken a vacation to Luton?
Not a vacation to Luton. Who would take a vacation to Luton? I've been to Luton.
Okay, so one of my friends actually took a backpack trip around Europe, and they ended up in Luton. And I remember them telling the story, and they couldn't understand a fucking word people from Luton said. because it's like what they were saying was, imagine like the deep south of America, like the and that's what they sounded like in an English accent.
Yeah,
And
pretty much.
he recorded a conversation, and it was freaking hilarious.
Right, Spooky is demanding I make a correction. It is £1 and a bag of crisps.
Okay.
Don't ask me.
I'll just say Luton probably is a good equivalent to the Deep South, actually, because not only do you can't understand what they're saying, but seems like a lot of our best racists come from Luton as well. Tommy Robinson, you know. Yeah.
To be fair, I thought lots of them came from around here. Harmonica Man says, hello Harmonica Man. Whitefish Point in northern Michigan. It's where I saw Edmund Fitzgerald just before it went down. Is that a person? Who's Edmund Fitzgerald, and why was he going down on Harmonica Man?
It was a ore freighter on Lake Superior in the Great Lakes.
Yeah.
Oh,
and it went
that
down
makes a lot more sense.
With all crew in a matter of like 30 seconds in a storm. The Great Lakes are one of the most deadly bodies of water on the planet.
David Worley says it's a perfectly normal accent. I'm assuming he's talking about Luton.
You from Luton, Dave? It's not asking to dox himself.
He doesn't live in Luton now.
And if you'd like to know the story of the Edmund Fitzgerald, just listen to Gordon Lightfoot's song. It's really quite accurate information.
Okay. I mean, I don't think there's any like sort of places we'd go every year. There's some places we went to several times, I'd say, but abroad a couple of times. But mainly, it tended to alternate somewhere between the sort of the places in the southwest of England, whether that be parts of either Dorset or Devon, or maybe a couple of times down to Cornwall. That's generally the.
And Luton. You went
wrong direction.
No, wrong direction. That's actually. I mean, I would say actually some of the sort of scenery in places like Dorset is very nice. Like the Jurassic Coast and that is very nice.
David Worley says Hayes, West London, very protective over our regional accents. Apart from Welsh, they're not a real country.
And so, Dave, you're being Mr. Worley. You're being rather controversial these days. What are you up to? Like that.
Seraphin.
You know what the.
My family used to go to Amelia Island all the time, which is in Florida, and I quite enjoyed it.
We mostly went to visit relatives, but I had relatives all over the country. I had relatives in Nebraska, Michigan, New York, Washington. So we just would go visit different relatives.
Did you stay with them?
Yes.
Did you guys, so like for all my American buddies, have you guys ever driven through like the countrysides of Oregon? Because I swear to freaking God, there's nothing more beautiful, in my opinion, than like driving through Oregon. I remember doing it whenever I was moving to Las Vegas. There was just waterfalls, like all kinds of cool shit, and it was like really, really beautiful. I wish I could have like landed there and stayed there.
I haven't really gotten to travel that much in the United States, unfortunately, so no. I want to. I'd love to travel. I just can't afford the shit. It costs money.
Just like if you ever get a chance, definitely drive through Oregon. That's my recommendation.
See, I think in a lot of ways we're quite lucky where we are. The fact that if you do want to go and see like another country and another culture or whatever, it's quite easy to go somewhere in Europe. So I think in that respect, I mean, it's so many Americans I've talked to never left the United States. Some of them not even left their own state before.
I was going to say, but to be fair, it is really each state really is the size of a country.
This is what I was about to say before you interrupted me, actually. This is the thing. I mean, the geography of America itself, it's but you know, it, you know, yeah, it is just a massive, massive place. It's like, I mean, you could fit the continent of Europe in like the bottom corner of the United States, you know. So, I mean, in a lot of ways, I think we're quite lucky, really, where we are. That it's not too difficult for us to go to not only other countries but totally different cultures and right on our doorstep.
Yeah.
And I don't think we appreciate how lucky we are sometimes.
Preach, Jeff, preach.
Jenny.
We didn't have anywhere to go because we were really poor and couldn't afford.
Did you not camp in the
we
nearby
took-
forest? That's why I think this is why we ended up in North Wales.
No, we couldn't. We did save up after when I was 10 years old, and Mom and Dad took us all out to Washington D.C. for a week. But that's it.
This regular thing.
No, only thing.
Right. So did you always, Dave? Did you always stay in Real? Or did you? Because I think it was what's the place about a mile? Prestatyn, I think was stayed in.
Prestatyn, yes, Prestatyn. We had a static caravan just outside Prestatyn.
Yeah.
Not the Haven or the Pontins one.
That was,
A
I think that was the
crappy little
Haven I was
static
in.
caravan park.
Yeah.
But when we were in Washington, I did meet both Robert and Teddy Kennedy at the same time in the Senate subway.
Cool.
Yeah, it was.
In a subway? Like the restaurant subway?
Actually, yeah, there was an eating facility. I don't remember it well enough. I was 10. But yeah, there's a subway under the Capitol and stuff.
Oh, okay. I thought you said you met them in a subway, like as in the restaurant. And I'm like, dude, that would be amazing.
No,
Subway didn't exist.
It was 1964.
If you enjoyed that, please hit the thumbs up button. If you didn't, hit the thumbs down. If you think you've got a better answer or just want to tell us how wrong we are, leave a comment down below. Subscribe down here for new questions every day and make sure you hit the bell so you don't miss out on our live shows. If you click over here, you'll see our latest upload. Over here, for what YouTube thinks you'll love the most. And finally, for a complete playlist of all our currently released questions, click here.